Welcome back to our series on building an at-home or in-office recording studio. In this video, we're going to talk about the recording equipment that you'll need. Now, the most important piece of equipment is probably a microphone. And if you plan on recording in person with guests, then you'll need at least 2 mics, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. Now, the good news is that you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a really good mic. The bad news is that if you Google podcast microphone, you'll get a dizzying array of options, which can make it really hard to know which one to choose and how much to spend. So first, I want to weigh in on one of the most popular podcast microphones, namely the Blue Yeti. Now, the Blue Yeti is a perfectly decent mic, and if you already have one, that's fine. Used the right way, the Yeti can record really good audio. My issue with this microphone is that it's a condenser mic, meaning that it's highly sensitive and it can and usually will pick up any and all ambient sounds, including noise from air vents and computer fans and things like that. You can minimize this by turning the input volume down and getting up close to the mic, but then you risk the mic recording every little mouth sound. So that's why I recommend using a dynamic microphone, which is designed to pick up only sounds that are audible right in front of the mic. I'm using a dynamic microphone right now. If you position yourself about a fist length away from the mic, like that, and you turn the input gain up high, a dynamic microphone will record only your voice and make it sound full and centered. Now, dynamic microphones also tend to be less costly than condenser mics, although you don't want to go with the absolute cheapest model. One that I often recommend to clients is the Samson Q2U podcasting pack, which includes a microphone, headphones, a windscreen, mic cables, and a boom arm. Now, another thing that I like about this package is the price. It's only about $124 on Amazon. You can easily spend way more on mics that are going to result in more or less the same audio quality. Now, another thing I like about this package is that the Samson is both an XLR and a USB mic, and it comes with both types of cables. Now, USB mics plug directly into a computer using a standard USB cable, and those are ideal for remote recording, where the host's recording setup requires usually just one microphone. Now, XLR mics use a different sort of cable, one with a 3-pronged connector that plugs into an audio interface, which is a device that interfaces between the microphone and the computer or other recording device, and we'll talk more about that in a second. XLR mics are ideal for in-person recording with a host and one or more guests because audio interfaces can accommodate multiple XLR microphones and record them into a single device. And USB mics can't really do that. They're not really built to have more than one USB mic plugged into a device at the same time. Now, as I just mentioned, if you plan on recording at least some of the time in studio with a guest, you'll need to use XLR microphones plugged into an audio interface. Now, just like with microphones, you'll find dozens and dozens of audio interfaces to choose from online, and the array of options can be a little confusing. So I recommend 2 options. First, there's the Focusrite Scarlett 1.8i8. I personally use Focusrite audio interfaces. I've used them for years, and I find them to be really solid and dependable and very easy to set up and use. As you can see in this image, this model has inputs for up to 4 microphones and 2 headphone sets, and at only about $430 on Amazon, which includes 2 mic cables, it's a pretty affordable option for most budgets. Now, the second option that I recommend is a standalone recording device called the Zoom PodTrack P4. It's an all-in-one device that can record up to 4 microphones at once. And unlike a traditional audio interface, the PodTrack doesn't need to be plugged into a computer to record, although you can use it as an audio interface. It records directly onto a memory card, which you then insert into the computer to download the files for editing. Now, if you plan on recording video as well as audio, you'll obviously need a digital video recorder. If you're recording remotely, you can use your computer's built-in camera, although you'll get better quality with an external webcam. Like with microphones and audio interfaces, there are dozens of brands to choose from. Personally, I prefer the Logitech family of webcams, which range in price from about $24 to around $150. And that's it for this video. You can learn more about building a home recording studio and about all things related to podcasting at conversa.com.